Hey first grade, today we will be reading chapters 11 and 12 of Ada Twist and the Perilous Pants. Chapter 11. Uncle Fred hit the gas. They zoomed after the fire truck, which turned down another corner and stopped behind the old Jeep factory. Bee and Bo from Blue River Creek's volunteer fire department jumped out of the fire truck. Rosie, Ada, and Iggy and Uncle Fred tumbled out of the bus. It was the factory where Rosie's neighbor, Mrs. Lou, built Jeeps during World War II. The factory had been closed for years, and most of the building was gone. Only 3 tall walls were left standing. They made a courtyard shaped like a U. The ground at the center was small, empty, a parking lot covered with black asphalt. The blazing sun beat down on the hot, oily surface, and the smell of tar filled the air. It was stinky, thick smell that Ada did not like. Uncle Ned was trapped in the air current that slowly whirled around inside the U-shaped area. The whirlwind picked up bits of dust and small leaves and lazily whirled them around high in the air with Uncle Ned. "It's like a river," said Iggy, "where the water gets stuck by rocks and swirls around." "I think they call it an eddy," said Rosie. "But how long can the whirlwind stay that way?" Bee and Bo stretched out the fire truck's ladder. Rosie knew Bee and Bo because they were also the recyclers in Blue River Creek. They often left her boxes of recycled materials for her inventions. Look at Uncle Ned stuck in the air, all swirling around. "Hi, Rosie. Hi, Ada. Hi, Iggy," they called. Uncle Ned was trapped in the whirlwind near the top of the wall. It was too far from the wall to grab the bricks, and he was too far up to be reached by ladder. "Hi, Uncle Ned," yelled Bee. "Give us a minute and we'll get you down." "Any time now, Bee," said Uncle Ned as he whirled around and round. "I'm getting dizzy, woo!" Bo climbed to the top of the fire ladder and reached for the rope hanging from Uncle Ned's perilous pants. It dangled just out of Bo's reach. "Our ladder is too short," yelled Bo. "Can we float lower?" "No, whoa, cried Uncle Ned. "I'm stuck." Bo stretched out the thick white fire hose. "I'll squirt you down with the hose," she yelled. "No," said Rosie. "If it breaks out of this eddy, he'll get pulled in the crosswind and float away." Ada looked carefully at the walls. The whirlwind kept Uncle Ned from swirling in the same spot. Iggy was right. It was like an eddy in the river. But Rosie was also right. If you changed anything, Uncle Ned could fly away. A squirt with the hose could be a disaster. Word spread throughout Blue River Creek about Uncle Ned's perilous pants. Soon a crowd gathered and watched. They cheered the firefighters and the questionnaires and tried to keep Ned calm by singing songs and telling jokes. The jokes were a bad idea. Every time he started to laugh, the pants jiggled and he wobbled in the whirlwind. One big laugh might send him flying. "Now that's the picture," said Barb Ross from the Happy Sapping art store. She pulled out a sketch pad and started to draw. "Does he have a permit for that?" asked the mayor. "What if we train an eagle to pop the perilous pants?" someone asked Uncle Fred. The crowd liked that idea and clapped. Unfortunately, the eagle was still at the zoo. Meanwhile, 3 monkeys, 4 lemurs, and an ostrich ran in and out of the crowd gathering while Uncle Fred tried to catch them. A reporter from Blue River Creek Reader interviewed Uncle Ned and snapped some photos for the evening edition. It was very exciting, but everyone focused on Ned and his perilous pants. Ada Twist stood to the side, tapping her chin. She was thinking. Her mind was swirling with questions. Uncle Ned floated exactly at that height because of the forces pulling him down and pushing him up. Could they change the forces to make Uncle Ned float lower so the firefighters could grab him? Could they weigh Uncle Ned down? Could the monkeys help? Could they really train an eagle to pop the pants? Would that make Uncle Ned zoom through the sky like a balloon losing its air? What if Uncle Ned hit something? Would he bounce? The sun beat down on Ada, and the stink of the asphalt rose up from the parking lot. It was a toe-curling stink that made Ada feel a little woozy. She shook her head and tried to think. She tapped her chin again and scribbled some notes. The hum of the crowd faded. There were many questions to answer. So much to figure out. To Ada, the whole world felt like a big cartoon bubble filled with question marks. She flipped through her notebook and looked at the pictures she had drawn from Rosie. All the forces working on Uncle Ned's perilous pants kept him in one spot. If any of those forces changed, Uncle Ned would move. The trick was making him move in the right direction. Just like adding cargo to the ship changes how high it floats in the water. Maybe they could change the way Uncle Ned's pants floated in the air. But how could they add cargo to his pants, and what would the cargo be? How could they get anything to Uncle Ned when they couldn't reach him? Suddenly, Ada had an idea. She popped out of her thought bubble and looked around. Rosie and Iggy were smiling. "You have an idea," said Rosie, who knew the look on Ada's face. "How did we help?" asked Iggy. Ada scribbled some notes and showed them to her friends. Iggy and Rosie nodded. Rosie ran to Uncle Fred and whispered something in his ear. He nodded too. "We'll keep track of Uncle Ned, in case he flies off again," said Iggy and Rosie. Ada stuck the pencil behind her ear. She stuck her notebook in her pocket. "Don't worry, Uncle Ned," she yelled. "We'll get you down." "Can you make it soon?" he yelled back. "I think that crow is coming back." Rosie pointed to the distant dark cloud in the horizon. "That's not all that's on its way," she said in a worried voice. "I don't think we have a lot of time before the wind changes." Ada nodded. She dumped into the zoo bus, and one more. Uncle Fred hit the gas, and we're off. Chapter 12. Ada scrambled up the stairs to Arthur's room. The moment later, she ran down with her brother's tennis racket and a large bag of tennis balls. Miss Twist stopped at the front door. "Ada," she said, "are those Arthur's?" "It's an emergency," said Ada. Ada's mother looked at her. "Ada," she said calmly, "we've had this talk. You can't use your brother's things without his permission. If you need a racket, use your own. Where is it?" "Well," said Ada. "That's not a good answer," said her mother. "And you know it." Ada did know it. What she didn't know is where she had left her own racket. There was lots of possibilities, and there was no time to figure it out. "Mom," Ada said, "I need to go now. This is really important." Miss Twist crossed her arms. "So is this," she said. "But," said Ada, "the wind might change and the whirlwind could collapse. And these tennis balls, they can add enough mass to the pants to offset the pants' buoyancy, so the forces balance at a lower height. Can't you see?" "What?" asked Miss Twist. She did not look happy. Ada did not feel happy. Why didn't her mother understand what she was saying? She didn't have time to draw a picture. Maybe she said it faster and louder. She blurted out her ideas as fast and as loud as she could, but her words jumbled and bumbled and fumbled. Some of them got left altogether. Air pressure, jeep, force buoyancy, monkeys, gravity. Ada said it as fast as she could. Tennis balls, leaping lemurs, Ada Marie. Ada stopped talking. Her mother was frustrated and frazzled. She was mad. And time was running out. "Mom," said Ada, "the downward forces have to be greater than the buoyancy force in the pants, or they will never sink." "Ada," Miss Twist cut her off, "what did I tell you?" Ada's parents were telling her things, so Ada kept a list in her notebook. She flipped it open. "The bathroom is not a science lab," said Mother. "Not that," said her mother. "The pantry is not an ant farm," said Ada. "What else?" "Don't put my toothbrush in the earthworm box," said Ada. "Ada," her mother said, trying to stay calm. "What did we tell you about your brother's things?" Ada's mom was upset, and it made Ada think of Rosie, who was upset too. Rosie was scared and worried about Uncle Ned. Time was running out, no matter how fast Ada talked or how she could explain things to her mother. Her mother didn't understand. What would Rosie do if Uncle Ned blew away? What if he blew away to a whole nother country? What if Rosie never saw him again? It made Ada sad. Her heart turned to goo. Ada stopped talking and stood quietly, not knowing what to do. "Ada, you know that." And suddenly, Miss Twist stopped talking too. She pushed her glasses up and looked closely at her young daughter's face. At that moment, her heart also turned to goo. Ada was trying her best to tell her something, and she didn't understand. Miss Twist sighed and knelt next to Ada. She looked at her daughter and smiled kindly. She took a deep breath and let it out slowly. "Let's start at the start," she said gently. And that's what Ada did. She told her mom about the birds and the tree and how Uncle Ned flew into the Miss Twist jumped off her feet. What? Ned Revere is flying around town in helium pants? This is an emergency. I know, said Ada, but it's okay. What do you mean? Miss Twist asked. How is it okay? Ada smiled. Because I know what to do. All right, first grade, that is the end of chapter 12. What do you think Ada's going to do with a tennis racket and tennis balls that's going to help get Uncle Ned down from the tree? I hope we figure it out tomorrow. Bye.